boy, it's time to break it down. Grab a mic, kill the stage, yeah, second nature now. Mama said I'll make her proud. I told her I made a vow just to wait around. In the year I'll put her in a house.
Hey, what's up everybody? This is Nightwing2303 from kicksoncourt.com. Today is part 8 of the Air Jordan project, and without wasting too much of your time, let's go ahead and get right into it. Traction on the Air Jordan 8 is very, very good, very solid. Just like the Air Jordan 6 and Air Jordan 7, along with the Air Jordan 2 and 3, the flat-surfaced Air Jordan models have overperformed some of the most recent of basketball shoes, those that even feature herringbone throughout the entire sole, one of which would be the Air Jordan 8.0, which is this model's predecessor or updated version. So in this particular situation, the Air Jordan 8, as far as being a retro model, actually outperformed in most areas, including the traction, than the Air Jordan 8.0, which is definitely a surprise and almost a welcome surprise. As far as the cushion is concerned, definitely is not one of the better cushioned Air Jordan models. That's pretty much a given throughout most of the early models. The Air Jordan 7 is probably the best, along with maybe the Air Jordan 2. This guy here features a encapsulated air unit in the heel and then an encapsulated forefoot air unit as well. You can't really feel them too much just because they are encapsulated within the polyurethane, and the polyurethane is super dense. So it's so dense that just like with all the rest of the polyurethane Air Jordan models, the paint just kind of chips, flakes, and peels off and all of that stuff. You can see some of it like being creased up in the back here with the way that it's shaped, so you know that there's some compression upon heel impact or heel strikes. So there is some sort of weight distribution there. It's just not as much as it would be in something with a foam midsole, which is pretty much obvious. So comparing like this guy here to the Air Jordan 8.0, the Air Jordan 8.0 just completely blew these out of the water as far as cushion is concerned. One thing that definitely does help these guys though with having that dense polyurethane midsole is the fact that the rubber is cut out right here. So this definitely dips in a little bit upon your heel strikes, and it makes your transition just a little bit more smooth. So while it's not the best, it's definitely not uncomfortable. It's not like playing in a pair of Air Jordan 3s or a pair of Air Jordan 4s. It's a little bit more comfortable than that, but it's just not the best as far as cushion is concerned. The materials and fit, probably two of my favorite aspects of the shoe overall. The materials on this particular model is all leather upper, and then you also have models that are nubuck, and the leather on these guys here is just buttery soft, and it's just no break-in time whatsoever. It moves with your foot very nicely. The overall fit is true to size, so go with your regular size, and as soon as the laces are strapped up and tied all the way up to the top, and then you have these cross straps on there, the fit is so secure and snug, it's ridiculous. Having this inner boot here makes the interior feel very plush, so it's like you're in a very nice car. You know, if you sit inside of a Mercedes and then you go and sit inside of a Honda, you got two totally different feelings there, and that's what you get with this guy right here. You can stick your foot inside of the Air Jordan 5 and then put your foot inside of a pair of Air Jordan 8s, and just the surroundings that covers your foot with the inner sleeve makes a huge difference, and it just feels a little bit more plush. So the materials I think are awesome. The fit is awesome, very secure, true to size, and once these straps are laced up, you have a very great lockdown, almost better than any shoe that I've ever worn. Ventilation, very self-explanatory. It pretty much sucks. There are perforations throughout. It's just not that much, and it doesn't do much. You know what I mean? This leather doesn't breathe very well, and then inside they have the inner boot here. I don't know why they never perforated this here the way that they did with the Air Jordan 6 and 7. That just kind of confuses me, but you know, the lockdown itself cancels out that slipping and sliding that you would get inside of the shoe from having so much moisture. And even with these having a full leather upper, because they're strapped down to your foot, it retains its shape throughout the game, which is fine. So the ventilation isn't going to hurt their performance at all. This is going to be more of your personal preference. If you don't like your feet to be kind of confined or restricted in that sense, you like to have some airflow, this is not going to be a model for you. If you don't mind, then by all means grab a pair and play As far as support is concerned, the support overall is very basic, pretty minimal. Most of your support's coming from the overall fit and these two cross straps. So as long as you lace these up all the way and tie them up tightly and then cross your straps up and strap them down, you have a great lockdown fit, making everything very stable and smooth. So the rest of your support is going to be pretty much coming from the molded arch. This is supposed to act as like a shank plate, but it's so like flimsy that I don't consider that much of any support. And then you have these splatter painted plastic pieces here, and these are supposed to act as additional medial and lateral side support cages. They wrap directly underneath the foot here. So in this particular model, it didn't do much of anything. I mean, there's so much bulkiness up here that's attached to your ankle that the Air Jordan 8.0 had a better offering as far as support overall, especially with these two guys here, because those were TPU, and it was a cage that not only wrapped underneath the heel but also went and extended into the shank. So you had a little bit more support in the 8.0 versus the Air Jordan 8, but if you don't need that type of support, then these are going to be just fine. Alright guys, so that takes care of the performance review on the Air Jordan 8 Retro. Overall, I think these are a fantastic shoe. Probably the best as far as the early model Air Jordans, those of which that use polyurethane midsoles. The next in line would most likely be the Air Jordan 7. Those are probably the two best options if you wanted a old school or retro styled sneaker to play on court. Any other information on these sneakers as far as performance goes, as well as the performance scores, you can go to my site, kicksoncourt.com. So thank you guys for watching, thanks for your support, and stay tuned for next time with the Air Jordan 9, and until then, have a good one.